Hello everyone, Zero here with a development update on StarDrive 2. Now StarDrive 2, you could imagine, is kind of like Total War in space. We've got a turn-based strategic layer where you're building a space empire, and we have a real-time combat layer where you're having exciting battles with your custom designed ships. I'm going to show both modes in this gameplay video. So like any good 4X, you can design your own race. You get to choose from one of our archetypes, and we've got some lore, and each of these have, they've got their own bonuses and so on, and you can customize these bonuses in our race customizer. You use a point system to buy and sell positive and negative traits, and this affects how your race is going to move through the game. I'm going to start off with the Quartizine. These guys are these kind of slave-taking mollusk types, and they have the Alawaks as their slaves. So we're going to kick up a new game with these guys and show off a couple features here. So one thing you'll notice already is our presentation is drastically different. All right, we've got this massive galaxy to explore. All of these stars here remain unexplored, but we know what's going on in our home system. We've got our home planet, Quartizine. You can see here that we've put a lot of effort into overhauling the planet screen and making it very user-friendly. As far as the economics of the game goes, we have we're returning to food, production, and science, and you can see as I mouse over these items in the UI, you get a detailed breakdown of how these figures are computed. Another thing we've added is pollution. Pollution is a negative effect on your industrial output, and you can affect that through racial traits and characteristics and scientific advances. We've also added an approval mechanic. Approval can give you bonuses or penalties to your colony's output, and there's all kinds of things that can affect approval. You'll have to dig into the game to see them all, but suffice it to say that it's a mechanic worth exploring. And of course there's money, which we use for various things. So we've added in StarDrive 2 tutorials. When you click the help button on any screen, you'll be met by your race's advisor, who will pop up and tell you, you'll have a little conversation. So here you meet Fabulo, who, and you can meet Rambal, and these guys will provide you with a little flavor text so you can get to know the feel of your race. And Fabulo will be available throughout the game, and so will Rambal, not only as in this help menu, but also you may be able to hire them as heroes into your empire. And you can use heroes to manage your planetary governments, and you can also have them managing fleets. So there's a lot more flavor going on in StarDrive 2 as far as characters go. Now, I want to show you a little bit more about our procedural generation system for the galaxy. I'm going to quit back to the main menu. Now, once I'm at the main menu, I'll load into a game that I know has some interesting elements right nearby the home system. Okay, so here we're playing as the Chook. These are the new race. They've got some really cool ships. We'll see them in combat later. Now when I zoom out, I see a question mark up to the right, and it's an unexplored anomaly. Long-range scans of the area have returned anomalous readings. So I can go check that out. I'm going to take one of my ships and send him up there to check that out. I'm going to take the other ship and go explore this area of space over here with the little purple deals. Okay. We'll go ahead and choose some research to focus on. Now this research screen is it's not done. I've just got the basic elements worked out. We've got 6 main research trees, which will be very deep, and on each level of the research tree you'll have up to 3 choices about what you can research, but you only get 1 at a time. So it's going to encourage you to make tough choices about which research element you want to focus on, and then you'll have to trade or do diplomacy for the other research elements. You'll also see that there's a special projects tab, and we'll get a look at what those special projects are in just a minute. Now that we've chosen our research and we've assigned our ships to go do something, we'll just hit turn. Now turns in the galaxy, they crunch simultaneously. So throughout the world, when I hit turn, every ship, every fleet is moving at once. This way there's a little strategic, tactical uncertainty. Where and how the enemy will move his ships, you won't know until you hit the turn button. Alright, so we're moving our ships along, and it looks like next turn we're going to get a couple events. Okay, so discovering the question mark, we discovered this mysterious asteroid, and so there's an event here, and we've discovered this mysterious asteroid. By whom and for what purpose this artificial asteroid was created remains a mystery. We could study it if we wanted to. Well, we could tow it back to the nearest colony for study, which would take -5 freighters, but we don't actually have any freighters right now. We could dispatch it to science team to take extensive readings. We don't have enough money for that. We could blow it up, or we could just leave it alone. So, alright, we're just going to leave it alone for now, because we can't do anything with this, but we'll come back to it when we have some money. I've also discovered this Carcel system. This is what the other ship went to look at. It's a legend among space traders, a system as rich with danger as it is with resources. Black holes prevent navigational hazards, while pirates prey upon those weak and foolhardy enough to attempt a run. Alright, so let's go check that out. Here's the Carcel system. And you can see that there's a port down here, Port Sorrow. So let's go send our ship over to check that out. That'll be his turn. You can go explore this system over here while we get some more money. Oh, maybe I can build some freighters. Yeah, I'll build a couple freighters. So go into the build menu, just grab a freighter fleet real quick. Yeah, that'll be one turn. So you just hang out here. Leave it asteroid alone, but you can hang out here. Okay, we're going to hit turn. Notice how the ship slows down as it gets inside the gravitational pull of the black hole. Alright, but now we're free and we've made it to Port Sorrow. So Port Sorrow gives you another event. You can actually explore this port. You can talk to some hardened-looking space captains that you see here, and you might have a chance to hire them as mercenaries. You can leave them alone. There's a trade board where you can spend some money to get some bonuses for your empire, temporary bonuses, or you can head back to the ship. And anytime you want to deal with Port Sorrow, you have to send a fleet over, you right-click on it, and you're back in the cantina. So this is one of the randomly generated elements of the game, and I've handcrafted a bunch of these. By the time the game comes out, I hope there will be just dozens upon dozens of them. And every game will therefore be different. You don't know what you're going to get, and I think it'll provide some exciting replayability. Okay, now you can see in the upper right my freighter summary shows that I have 5 available freighters. So I'm going to take this ship, I'm going to send him back to the asteroid that I discovered floating out in space. Alright, there we go. I'm going to tow it back to the nearest colony for study. And I gain the special project, Study Mysterious Asteroid. Okay. Now you can see that my freighters are unavailable because they're towing the asteroid. Alright, but I do have the special project available. Oh, maybe not yet. I have to wait. Alright. Meanwhile, I will send this ship down to explore this system here, and I actually want to go to this Grim Dark Traverse. It's another one of the randomly generated elements. So we'll keep on moving here. Discovered this system. These planets don't look very good. Keep on moving. Okay, we've entered the Grim Dark Traverse. So this area of space seems to suck in the light from around it. Interestingly, ships experience less subspace friction while traveling through the traverse, giving them a speed bonus. We get a new special project available in the research screen, and if we want to study that effect. Now we could use this discovery for propaganda purposes. We could pay 50 BC, billions of credits, and we'd get 5 approval on all of our planets for 20 turns. It could be a pretty nice expenditure. We don't need that right now, so we're just going to leave it alone. Now check out how fast this ship moves as it goes through the traverse compared to its normal move speed. And there's it. Normally it slows down. Cool, right? So now we have the Study Grimdark Traverse in the special projects. element. So what I can do is I can tax my own research. And I'm going to tax it at 100%. All of my research is now going in to this study Grim Dark Traverse research project. And it only takes 10 RP, and I'm putting 4 RP per turn at it, so it'll be done in just 3 turns. I'll send him out to go explore. Send you out to go do some exploring. Where are you? There you are. Okay. You can see we still have 3 turns left to tow that asteroid back too. 1, 2... Okay, and next turn I expect a couple of events. Alright, so, Secrets of the Grim Dark revealed. Our scientists have completed their study of the Grim Dark Traverse. And what we've discovered is that there are subspace particles that suck in the light. And by studying this special project, we now gain a +5 to our FTL speeds for all of our fleets. So that's great. Great news. And, oh look, this ship up here has entered a star system that has a wormhole. And that wormhole goes clear across the galaxy. So let's send him through the wormhole. Pretty cool, right? Let's check it. Watch as he zooms across. Nice, right? Oh, it's an empty system, but oh well. Alright, so you get the gist for how this exploration plays out. Right? You can send your ships around. Now meanwhile, there's 5 opponents out here doing the same thing. And eventually we'll run up against them, we'll have to do our diplomacy, etc. with them. And it may come to pass that we're going to have a battle. So, first I'm going to show you space battles, and then I'm going to show you ground battles. Let's head back to the main menu. Okay, the second major mode in StarDrive 2 is the Battle Arena mode. This is how the battles will play out in the 4X mode. It'll go to an instanced real-time combat. And here in this Battle Arena mode, though, you can also play through just some individual skirmishes with some storylines. So I've got one here. This is a human fleet versus a Volfar fleet. And as we load into the battle, we get a little title card and some story between the characters, so there's a little impetus for what we're doing here and why. And they'll yell at each other, and then we'll get a chance to deploy our fleet. Now here in the arena mode, there's a few unique things. First is we have some money to spend, and second, we've got this market to spend it in. So when we start off the game, depending on the scenario, you only get a limited amount of technology and a limited amount of ship hulls to put the technology in. So we've got these ship modules available for purchase in the market. Okay, so we spend our money and we can decide now exactly how much technology we want to buy, and then we also have to balance that against the purchase cost of our ships, because we can see that these ships cost money to deploy. Okay, now I have my dev mode powers on here, so I get a chance to get a few more advanced ships than might otherwise be available. Now in the shipyard, we can use the modules that we've purchased to make new designs. All right, now just like in StarDrive, the placement of your ship modules really matters. You can see some finished designs here. But as the ships take fire, they'll take it from the directions and eat into the modules in the appropriate order. And a ship is dead when its center quadrant, or the center of the ship, is reduced to 0 hit points. Back in the deployment mode, because I have my super dev mode powers on, I'm going to cheat and give myself a space monster, the crystalline entity. Okay, so we're set up to have a really cool fight here. I'm just going to hit begin and let's watch it play. Alright, so I really love the space fire ship. Kind of fun. Playing on. Obviously, you don't need a big threat. But he's a little bit of a glass cannon. He doesn't actually have that many hits, although his mini weapons are really powerful. Okay, so we won the battle, no problem, right? Let's use the crystal entity did most of the damage. He didn't actually take any damage, they weren't focusing on him for whatever reason. And we've also got a commendation system that's not yet implemented. Ships will earn medals throughout the game that they can carry into the next mission. This also exists in the 4X mode. So combat, you can see, is pretty brutal, it's beautiful, it's exciting, and I'm pretty happy with where it's at right now. Let's go back to the main menu. The last thing I want to show off is ground combat. This is a little bit of a work in progress, but let's go ahead and let's load up a Quartizine game. I've got actually, I've hard-coded a little demo here to show. So, if we go down into our planet view, we can upgrade our ground forces. All right, so we start with a number of ground forces, and we have the option to upgrade them. And we're met with this little upgrade menu here. So on the left we have the forces that are on our planet, and on the right we have a number of skills and equipment and consumables that we can equip to our troop. So let me make an example of some of these. We'll do, this guy will be a, we'll call him an owl walk rifleman. And maybe we'll call this guy like a spy, and we can change his graphic to like give him that sort of ridiculous noir look. Alright, and now we can equip these guys with some new skills. So the rifleman, I'm going to take away his laser pistol and I'm going to give him a laser rifle, and let's save that. We'll upgrade him. Now by equipping him with his rifle, which is better than the laser pistol, we have to pay money to do it. Alright, but now he's got it. And these have different characteristics. You'll see how these characteristics come in play in just a minute. But you can see that it's got a range and a damage. It's got an AP cost, action points. It's got damage type, thermal. Okay, so there's some really deep mechanics here for you to explore. And over here on the basic, on the right side where these skill icons are, you can see there's basic weapons, there's combat techniques, there's equipment, and there's consumables. And this is just the default stuff. This is the stuff that you start with at the beginning of the game. Now as you go through the game and unlock new technologies, this list is going to fill out big time. You're going to get all kinds of different weapons and combat techniques and equipments to really customize these troops. Now there'll be an auto upgrade option. You can just click and the AI will take care of creating a diverse and powerful army for you. It'll be the same system that the AI is using to build its own army. So this is totally optional, but I think it's really exciting. Because I remember when I was playing Masters of Orion 2 as a kid, I really wanted to be in charge of the ground combat, but it was always just something you watched. Alright, so anyway, I've created a couple riflemen. I'm going to give him a med kit. I'll give these guys, I'm going to give these infantry some armor. Yeah, so the armor will give them 5 shield, it will reduce the damage they take. And I'm going to hit close, and I've hard-coded this in for the demo. I'm going to load into a ground combat. Okay, so here is the ground combat view. Now each planet is going to have a little view like this. Now you can see it's just basically a little chessboard. And we'll be putting in some procedural elements here as well to vary the terrain. Things like this crashed spaceship, trees, rocks. It's still, this bit is in the early stages. I'm trying to keep it simple right now while I flesh out the basic concepts. But here you can see some of the units we've designed, like our Owlwalk Spy. You can look at the skills that he has, and you can see that it's got a range, and you can see the cooldown, and the damage, and etc. The numbers next to their names, next to the little health bars, that's how many AP they have. You can also see that down here in their indicators. Now we can examine the enemy troops. We've got a Kilrathi gunner, he's got a big rifle. The Kulrathi Swords Bear has his combat knife. I'm going to make that a Kulrathi sword later. Alright, now, and then it just proceeds on a tactical, turn-based strategy game. So I can move my units. It costs 1 AP to move. I can maneuver them out here. And having nothing else to do, I'll just hit turn. And now the bad guys move. There's the medic. Select them while they're moving. Okay, Karathi medic. So he's got some med kits to heal himself or others, and a little laser pistol. And, I'll just give you a quick idea of how this can go. Okay, so look, that guy's almost in range. All I gotta do is move 1. I can select the skill and fire away. So Kulrathi Sword Bear takes 10 thermal damage from all one laser pistol. That was a laser rifle, actually. So, anyway, the game progresses like so until one unit or one side is defeated. Rather than play this out, I can just hit the auto button. And note that I can do this, watch the combat, or I can just auto-calculate it from the strategy. Okay, so all of the Alawaks are dead. Okay, that will wrap up the StarDrive 2 development log. I'll be posting a thread on StarDriveGame.com. It'll be stickied, so if you have any questions about what you saw here, please come by and ask them, and I'll answer them. Right now, StarDrive is on schedule for a September of 2014 launch. We'll be at GDC this week, showing this same video that you've seen, a live demo, to various press outlets. So look at PC Gamer and other websites in the coming weeks to get some more information and interviews. Thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoyed it.